Up on our broadcast for tonight, the Bryant community mourns the loss of a student.
And Chrysler recalls a bunch of cars while Apple introduces the new iPad. Following that is sports, weather, the world news, and the Bryant Update.
And it all starts right now.
Straight from the Bulldog Studios at Bryant University, this is the Bryant News Broadcast, hosted by Todd Stewart and Sarah Larrabee, featuring Nolan Thompson with the weather, Brian Walsh and Chad Saber with sports, Dana Arenik with the Bryant Update, and Doug Sieber with the world news. This episode is sponsored by the Media Production Club.
In national news, Chrysler recalls nearly 210,000 Jeep Liberty Sport vehicles due to potential corrosion that could lead to a loss of control. Chrysler, which is controlled by Fiat, says the cars are mainly from the years 2004 and 2005 and were sold in the Northeast. The reason for the corrosion? Road salt, only used by certain states in order to combat the winter. If you own or know of anyone who owns a Jeep Liberty, contact your local dealership and see if your car has corrosion. It was a little weird not seeing Steve Jobs on stage today, but with him in our thoughts and minds, Apple still released their new iPad. For months, people have been waiting on pins and needles for the current iPad and the current Apple CEO, Tim Cook, to take the stage. Cook called it the new iPad, while describing its features of having a quad-core chip, Retina high-resolution screen, and a 5-megapixel camera, all while working on the 4G LTE network. The new iPad will enter the market at the same price point as its previous model of $499, and it will be in stores ready for its customers on March 16th.
It is with great sadness that we report tonight on a member of the Bryant community who was taken from us far too soon. Junior football player Samuel Morgan passed away from unknown causes late last Friday evening. He was with his family at his Smithfield residence, but was found unresponsive on Saturday morning. Sam had transferred to Bryant in the fall, but quickly became an active member on campus. Counseling services are offering extended hours this week for any student troubled by this tragedy. Our thoughts and deepest sympathy are with him, his friends, and his family. An update now on a story we have been following all semester long. The controversial prayer banner has been removed from the auditorium at Cranston High School West. The banner took nearly 11 hours to be extracted from the concrete walls and cost the city nearly $2,500. The city has also been ordered to pay over $150,000 in legal fees for the court case. All that remains now is a blank space and a hole in the city's wallet. Let's turn it over to Nolan, who has our first look at our spring break weather.
All right, well, thanks, Sarah. I hope you enjoy my spring break professional attire as I'm getting ready for one great spring week. Looking at the weather right now, the only thing we can expect is sunshine, more sunshine, and even warmer temperatures. So, as you can take a look from our 7-day forecast, spring break's looking to have a really good start. Now over to Bryant Sports with Brian and Chad.
Thanks, Nolan. The Bryant University men's lacrosse team swept up all 3 Northeast Conference Weekly Awards after a dominant 15-8 win over Vermont Saturday afternoon. Sophomore midfielder Colin Dunster, senior goalie Jameson Love, and freshman midfielder Kevin Mesa rightfully received the awards. After a 4-goal, 5-point performance against the Catamounts, Colin Dunster picked up his first career NEC Weekly honor, named the Offensive Player of the Week, while Jameson Love earns his first NEC Defensive Player of the Week award of the 2012 season following a 17-save performance. Kevin Mesa completes the trio, given his second Rookie of the Week nod after taking the season's first such award on February 20th. According to the computer rankings on laxpower.com, Bryant is ranked 14th in the country, and our Bulldogs have to face a very competitive Drexel squad on Saturday, who is ranked 15th in the country. Drexel is not the team the record shows, which is 2-3, which all 3 losses have come from 3 top 20 teams, including a 1 loss to number 1 Virginia. Our Bulldogs will be extremely hungry for this game, as Bryant looks to avenge their 8-7, 4 overtime loss to Drexel last year. This is a game you do not want to miss.
From prom queen to soccer star, LSU's Mo Issam has had many accomplishments. Her next task, trying to become the place kicker for LSU Tigers. And she's serious. This has some questioning whether it's another honey badger incident again in order to get LSU back in the spotlight. Nope, she means business. She's been a star athlete before and understands the level of commitment and intensity a D1 sport takes. With all the positive stories from the past few months, from Lynn to Tebow, hers is going to be in the spotlight. And hopefully, Hopefully, she shines like the others. The Yukon Huskies are barking again. After being the preseason favorite in the Big East, they've disappointed during the regular season. They went 19-12 with a sub-500 Big East record. Critics blame the lack of chemistry as well as Calhoun missing time. The conversation for the Huskies after today's win over West Virginia 71-67 in the Big East tournament is now similar to last year. The pressing question on every sports fan mind is, will they make another tourney run? Chad, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, I am pumped for the game tomorrow against Syracuse, against number 1 Syracuse, or actually number 2, 1 or 2. I mean, only losing 72-70 back in February 25th, but it hurts me to say this, even though I'm a UConn fan. I think their little Big East run is going to stop here. I think Syracuse defense, their zone defense will be too powerful for UConn. I don't think UConn is they're going to commit turnovers. I don't think they're going to make enough shots at the end of the game, and I think Syracuse is just going to blow it out.
So, Chad, I kind of think a bit differently here. Syracuse had a bunch of close calls lately, like you said, with UConn, with West Virginia, with the whole entire Tippin scenario, and now with the whole entire allegations about, the drug scandal and stuff like that. I think, personally, UConn is going to get by this, eventually go into the Big East tournament hot, and eventually take out some teams. The way they're placed in Joe Lunardi's bracket, they're a 10 seed right now. I could see them taking out Gonzaga or Ohio State. But, yeah, that's what I'm thinking so far. Now, that was sports.
And we'll send it over to Doug with the world news. Doug?
Thanks, you guys. The Norwegian anti-Islamic militant Andres Breivik, whose bombing of the government headquarters in Oslo and subsequent shooting rampage at a Labour Party summer camp shocked the small nation and indeed the world, was charged on Wednesday with terrorism and premeditated murder. The 33-year-old admitted to carrying out the July bomb attack at the government headquarters located in the capital city of Oslo and the gun massacre hours later at the Labour Party summer camp, which resulted in the killing of 77 people and wounded roughly 240 others. Anders managed to avoid the crimes against humanity charge that would have carried a maximum 30-year sentence because Norwegian law applies to only to widespread systematic atrocities and not the acts of an individual. Instead, Anders will receive the maximum conventional prison sentence for terror and murder, which in Norway is 21 years. However, courts are permitted after that time to extend custody indefinitely if a violent, sane convict is considered likely to repeat his crimes. And in other news, rescuers at work today shoveling through deep snow, searching for victims of an avalanche that destroyed a village of about 200 people in northeastern Afghanistan. Only 7 people are known to have survived the avalanche, which buries dozens of homes Sunday night in the village of Dasti, located in the Darzab area of the Dad Adakashan province. So far, 50 people have been found dead, including 3 who were found alive but later died because medical personnel were unable to reach the site. Unfortunately, due to the massive destruction caused by the avalanche, rescuers who have by now arrived at the site fear there will be no more survivors. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Once again, it's great to be here. I'll turn it right back over now to Todd and Sarah.
Thanks, Doug. And for all the cast and crew at the Bryant News, I'm Todd Stewart.
And I'm Sarah Larrabee. Have a safe and fun spring break, and we'll see you right back here when we get back.